I always love to watch the energies until we get into the right sync. And sometimes I wonder if the delay sometimes is, of course, there's different things. However, I want to know what the underlying energy is. And I thought, you know, I do so much work all day, and especially before a call like this, clearing and cleansing myself, my light body, all levels of my being, and my space, calling in the light, using all the sacred herbs, all of the different guides, crystals. Thanks, everybody. Hi, and maybe that frequency of the space I'm in for you, for us to meet, is just a little too high frequency initially for YouTube or whoever to connect to. So, hi everybody, namaste, welcome, welcome on YouTube, welcome on Facebook, wherever you're joining us. And this is Akasha Nan, Akasha, and this is the Spiritual Weather Report. So we do this most of the time every week to look at the energies that are happening and how can we best navigate the weather, so to speak, because we can't make the moon not full or the eclipse not happen. However, we can take responsibility for our spiritual growth, for this incredible evolutionary amplification that's happening right now, and not give in to being overwhelmed and disorganized and constantly sucked back into our old patterns. We have to end it. And if you're not consciously working with me in my prosperity magic courses or mastermind or the retreats or classes or wherever that's calling you, you're going to get your butt kicked. And I'm not trying to be mean or scary. However, the energies are going. It's like jumping in a river and it's taking off, and you're trying to hold on to some things and let go of other things, and you want more money, but you're not willing to speak up, and whatever it is. So everybody's in the same thing. Everybody has done gobs and gobs and gobs of spiritual work, and you have to let go of it. You can't be a victim. It's a low state of consciousness. You can't come to your spiritual growth and say, I've worked so hard, I've suffered so long, when is my turn? Why don't I get it? It's time for me. That only matters to you. That only matters in the Piscean age of victimhood, amplified by crucifying people who stand up for their truth and hold love, amplified by being that age where you have to be giving to the other authority. So the energies are accelerating and things are breaking down. Our systems are of schools, of governments, of how we work, of how we communicate. AI is not bad. It's just a tool. So as it takes off, find your peace, find your place, and come to a place, to a community where you have the strength and you have the love that can hold you as you go through the ups and downs that we're going through. That's just the facts. We're not going to avoid it. There is no spiritual practice. There is no money-making technique. There is nothing out there that is a magic wand that is going to make your life never have a stress, never have. I mean, if you're letting losing your keys, if you're letting not being able to find your shoe, if you're letting, being frustrated by technology not connecting. Yesterday we went for Valentine's Day to a sacred ancient Mayan site that I love nearby that has a temple of Venus that I met the grandmother watchers on, and they were closed. I just sat there and they were like, I'm sorry, we're doing construction. They're building a new museum, and they knocked down the ticket booth, and they're not figuring out how to open it up while they build the new booth. So I could go, oh, it's my plans and the goddess called me and this is a terrible thing and why'd this happen, and just let it suck the life out of me. Instead, I've learned over many, many years of constantly being on that emotional roller coaster of what it means and that it didn't work out, and when will it ever be right, and when will I have this happen for me, and when will everything be perfect, and when will I have to stop climbing that mountain. Never and never and never again if you want the truth. I'm just going to tell you the truth, but I'm also going to hold your hand and I'm also going to hug you. And if you come to a retreat, we're going to do epic deep work and laugh deep and love deep and clear deep and receive messages and help escort you through these shadow times, because we are in the times of reclaiming our power. We are in the times of the prophecies that say the lords of darkness, that's just a term, right? That energy that we've been living in, fear, pain, blame, anger, victimhood, and every horrible thing that we've done to each other and ourselves. And we keep recreating that even as it's crumbling, because it's in our belief system, it's in our minds. So as those things die within us, the mindsets have to die, that you're poor, that you're not good enough, that no matter what you do, it's never enough, that your soulmate isn't there, that you're somehow not, blew it, or you failed, and whatever else. I've had them all. My clients have had them all. Everybody is going through this. You have to get out of the, oh, why am I not good enough? Oh, why is this happening to me? It's a complete distraction. Who the hell cares if it was closed? I care because of my plans, but immediately I sat because I was close to the Temple of Venus and I've been there, so I don't really have to go, but I opened my heart and we stood there while my driver talked to the guy and we got inside info on what they're doing. and so I was connecting to the land and I was connecting to Venus and I was connecting to the grandmothers. And clearly there was a reason I was called there. So I don't go into, well, I clearly got that message wrong. No, there was a reason. I had to go there. I had to be there. I had to stand on that land. There was something that downloaded, something that came to me, something that shifted, something that I did maybe on the way there. I don't know. And you don't know everything that's happening on every level spiritually, and you never will. So if you have a mentor or a partner that has spiritual superiority over you, like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you happy all the time? I used to have a client, I swear to God, this woman was amazing. She was doing amazing work. She was healing, centuries and lifetimes and family and ancestor patterns. She was willing to go deep. And her boyfriend that she lived with had crystals and crystal bowls in an entire room that was his sacred space, and she could only enter if she had permission from him. And he claimed to always be happy and always be at a higher state, and he didn't know what was wrong with her. What was wrong with her? Why can't you stay there? Why can't you stay there? I'm not speaking to you like that. I'm speaking to you as your guide, as your mentor, as one who's been ahead in the timelines and been shamanic journeying, escorting people into death this week, going and helping people. A year ago that started, actually, a year ago in December. A dear client of mine and her husband passed, and I knew him. So I didn't do it on purpose, but I started gifting her sessions, 12-12, and giving her some help through that initial deep grief. And he started coming in, and we did sessions over about 4 months that I got to see the progression of what happened for him as a soul as he was leaving being fully focused into being him in the body here. And I don't know if that's everybody's experience. My daughter died, and this took me very deep into that work. And it took my ex-husband, my husband at the time, into hospice work, which he did for over 20 years, and really phenomenal transformation, phenomenal experience, and phenomenal to learn that, to be around that, to understand a lot of what happens at transition. So death is vital for life. And we've separated death and we've turned it into something that's terrible and heartbreaking and tragic and horrible. And we've put people on machines that make them die slow and suck all their money and life force out, and make it almost impossible sometimes for people to have a sacred transition. And so it's vital that we relearn the cycle of life. And that's part of the sacred feminine rising. But the sacred feminine isn't just what we have to focus on, is it? We need to balance the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine within ourselves, within our family, within our identity of ourself, within our perception of our abilities as a creator, within the systems that we see, that we perceive are broken, and the people who are acting out these broken scripts. Your heart feels something different, or you wouldn't be here with me. You feel called, whether you know it, whether you know what it is, whatever way you're waking up, it's perfect, honey. It's perfect. Okay, please welcome. I've really begun to love and embody the idea that clients through decades have called me their fairy godmother, because the idea, I love the fairy realms. I talk to all the realms. I go to all these places. I channel the information. I help you see where your connections are. And I take you beyond the veil and help you bring your wishes true. So what we want to do is constantly become more empowered, more strong within ourselves, more connected to our own inner authority, more trusting of our senses, which have been squashed. Okay. So energetically, I want you to think about the balance of sacred masculine and feminine. And we're going to talk about, Venus and Mars and Pluto. And we're going to talk about that details, but this is the energy. Like, we like to go, okay, this is what's happening, but what does the energy mean? Like, what does that mean to me? Okay, great. If you're an astrologer or you like to geek out on the details, that's great. However, I'm interested in what that means. What's the energy and what's being offered, or what is in our environment? What is it raining? Is it sunny? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it dry? Is it wet? Do I need a swimsuit? This is what you want to know. And then you show up in the present moment, and then your soul can lead you. But it can't lead you forward when we are spinning in these old patterns and paradigms of the unbalanced sacred masculine feminine. Now, that's what we see where women and minorities are not given equal pay or equal opportunity, where certain people are denied education, where some people have all the money and some people have no money, and all of this in between. None of this will be solved. No wars, whether they're religious, no injustices, whether it's financial or medical. Whoa. Truly, if you have money on this planet, you can live a higher quality of life if you make the right choices for the right food and for the right care at the right time, and you manage your body and your peace and all of these things. But just having money doesn't guarantee that you have better health if you drink Coke and eat chips every day and binge on donuts and watch bad negative TV and talk to people about fear and grow a big gluten belly. What is it? It's a huge inflamed, it's like you're eating yourself, right? And that's your gut, and that's your solar plexus, and that's your power. And there's nothing that the lords of darkness, right? These energies that we're moving out of, that we're having finally an opportunity to come back up out of the depths of being separated from our heart, from our power, from our understanding that we're not alone, that all the realms are here, that we are already encoded with the soul blueprint that knows things, that we have other lives in our soul that know exactly what is the problem, what's holding us back, what's making us continue to eat or to prevent ourselves from being successful or to keep from speaking up and whatever. So we have beliefs and we have relationships, and everything's coming to closure, completion. I want you to think death, completion, closure, culmination, graduation, whatever aspect of that is, okay? It could be just transitioning into a new level. It could be going from a seed to a sprout, or a sprout to a stalk, a stem, to leaves, to flowers, to fruit, to whatever aspect. It could be melting, going from the frog or the tadpole or the caterpillar, and melting and losing your identity. Is the identity that you're dying to right now in how you make money, where you perceive money comes from, whether you feel you're worthy of money, whether you feel like you could do it, whether you feel this call in your heart, but you don't know how to get there, right? I don't know how to do it. That's why the identity is dying. We cannot get there. You cannot howl your way into a new reality that is based on love and equality, that is the Aquarian age, the epitome of both expanded wisdom and tech and this higher mind connecting beyond anything we've ever connected to, because it's not just AI. It means we can do that too. That means your intuitive network is connecting and expanding beyond anything it could. Is it going to be fried because you're not taking care of this sacred container and becoming a chalice for the light and the divine energy that needs to come into you, that needs to nurture you, that needs to go into your navel, that needs to nurture those 8 original cells at the base of your spine? Because your kundalini is going to awaken. Dragon year is here. There is no way around it. Do you want to do it in a measured, balanced, way where you connect to the powers that need to be heard and need to come out right now, and they don't cause an emergency. They don't cause an eruption. You don't want to what if it's like it's stirring, it's stirring, it's stirring, it's stirring, and then you come and you join me in the mastermind, or you join the Sacred Soul Powers class, where you're going to get a private soul past life session with me. We've changed the format of it, so you need to take a look at it. You can join anytime this month and next month, and you get your session, and then you're going to have 3 processes. So it's a different than the classes we did before, and it's really powerful because I'm going to be bringing you into the key core past life that you embodied for this life. And what's cool is it's going to explain your patterns, your relationships, what's completed, what hasn't. And it's going to be the secret, the door, the key to you opening into the next reality that you need to step into to be a creator now this year. This year is about growth, right? Look at the shows we have here, subscribe, look at the playlists. In the spiritual weather reports, in the meditations, and some of the other special classes, I'm constantly sharing about the dragon energy because it's so powerful. It has the potential for prosperity, but it also could grow a lot of your fears and pains. So why is it important to talk about balance? Right there. Right now, we must balance, and we must balance ourselves inside of our own truth, not aligned to everybody else's truth. That's not balance. That's why we're imbalanced. There's no one in your life, no offense, that I doubt that is in balance with their masculine, feminine. Okay, maybe the Dalai Lama. I don't know. However, we go through phases, and it's a process, and it's an unraveling of the deeper core secrets and shame that's held in the sacral center that is blocking and causing disease and lack of flow for your creativity. The creativity mean that you're blocking or not seeing how to monetize your ideas, or how to find the people, or to find the teacher, or your willingness to spend the money on yourself, or your willingness to see the value in something and let go of having to suck every penny out of it. Is there a program that many of us had that said, you must get your money's worth, you must get every penny out of this thing, did it worth it? And then your mind picks it apart. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Did I make a good decision? Didn't I make a good decision? Did I spend my money well? Would my dad be proud of me? And blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't matter if any of these people are alive, right? So freedom of taking your power back is the Mars-Venus conjunction that's happening, coming up soon, and we're in that energy. Valentine's Day was yesterday. There's a whole blood drama with that scene. However, what I tune into is the idea of love, the idea of putting hearts everywhere, the idea of being loving to others, of saying kind things to each other, whether it's a lover sexually or not. We need to spread love. We need to receive love. We need to be love. And so the aspect of that was quite beautiful. I moved immediately into the rest of my day with my beloved yesterday. Of course, I was with him. My brother-in-law, my sister's husband, died on, now it's 12/22. Thank you. Hi. On the 11th. And the 11th was our beginning of the Chiron North Node. And it's going to keep taking us to the eclipse, to the equinox, and then into the eclipse. And this is one reason why the equinox retreat is really vital. So I highly recommend you take a look at it. If you haven't looked at the March retreat, it's the only one this year that will include the Dolphin frequencies, vibrations, healing work in person, and the Mayan ceremonies, the way that we do them, with the Mayan Aztec Jaguar ceremony in the jungle, the pyramids, the cenotes, the sacred healing work, the sound healers. And we've added a couple of magical days with some new sacred feminine healers, some new sacred caves, some new water frequency healing, and a new pyramid that were not new, of course, and ancient, a different one. So you'll have a chance to go to several if you would like to add those days. So that is a really vital relationship building, healing. The lady I was mentioning that her husband died, she came in July to the retreat. She wanted to come in March. It was a little too soon for her being able to travel in the world after her husband died. And yet she knew and I knew that it was the number one thing she had to do. So if you're looking for a super lovey-dovey retreat, if you're looking for a place where you're going to be held, you're going to be nurtured, we're going to be together in this luxury condo, we're going to be on the beach, we're going to be next to the dolphins, we're going to be eating, looking at the lagoon that's just saturated with beauty and love and softness and cacao and treats and healings and so much personal opportunity for you to be with me, to be with the healing and to do these sacred things and then have a lot of fun too. A lot of beautiful flavors, a lot of beautiful foods, a lot of beautiful energies, which is the beautiful people. So what we want to do is take these opportunities, whether it's that or something else that's calling you, and find you a place to balance your sacred masculine and feminine. What does that mean and why is it important? And how do you do it after your entire life of never knowing even what's that like? Maybe meeting one or two people along the way that were balanced within it. Well, one of the keys is that we must move into communion and communication with the other aspects of our soul. The other aspects of our soul require us to see, to understand, to know that we're not alone. We're not out here doing our own thing and not affecting anybody. We're affecting our soul and we're ignoring our soul. We're not getting the help from our soul and we're not helping our soul. You have to understand that you're in a unique life. You may think you're the loser of your soul and you're not perfect and you didn't make $1 million and right now you're stuck in a certain situation that seems challenging. Your situation is absolutely perfect. And if you would understand that when you accept the present moment as prosperous, meaning it has opportunity to feed you nourishing things to grow, what are you doing? You're suddenly realizing you already have what you want. Now your sacred feminine is getting activated. Now your receivers are opening. This is part of the process of understanding your true nature. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the Sacred Soul Powers class, and I'm going to be doing a mastermind and the intuition class this summer and the retreats. And that, other than small magic classes, is where you want to meet me, because this year I want to go deeper with you and I want to go deeper with empowering you. And that's one of the reasons that, let's get to some of these things so we don't go too share screen. I have to choose. Okay, here we go. So if you go to shop.nanakasha.com and there's the Greece retreat coming in May, and there's a new day that downloaded today called Sacred Athens Day that is an addition you can do with me. I'm super excited to take you shopping and all the cutest little places and all the sacred places, and then evening under the stars, under the Acropolis on the roof, going into the Acropolis Museum. And wow, there's the magic there is really intense. So here we go. Thank you. So this is now very important to understand. We're going to have these 3 live classes. They're going to essentially be the 3 steps in you doing a soul retrieval, a wound healing, and an empowerment journey with your soul. And then you will have those to use over and over. First of all, though, you get a series of things to do, and you're going to get a chance to have this private session with me. So right now is an incredible time to do this because, we got to fix that. You get the bonus Communicate with Your Past Lives audio. We have a whole instruction thing about steps to start taking, to listen to communicate. We have 2 other processes and 2 classes already about what are your past lives, why they're important now, and all of that. So what I want you to do is go and realize that you're going to have this live session. I don't even see it listed here, so I don't know. And then we will know, you'll have the recording and the transcription of your core life template that is the doorway for you to connect to these other lives. It is the core template that's going to explain and unravel all of the things that you've done in this life. Why did you have this struggle? Why did you have this power? If you don't need to know it, don't try to stress yourself out looking for it, please. Okay. But, and then I want you to go and open your inner world to this idea of balancing, right, yourself with being the leader of this life and not being alone as the only person operating here. And what do you do when you do that? You realize you have a community, you realize you have power, you realize that. So today, the spiritual weather is a series of things that we're looking at. We still have no planets in retrograde, so we have forward energy. We have dragon year energy, so we have forward energy, growth. Okay. And the wood and the building of the dragon energy takes a little bit of time, which is kind of nice. However, the dragon energy can be doing a lot of other things, and I've had it coming out in a lot of like little explosions, like last week more than this week. Yesterday, it was like I kept coming back into the peaceful moment, looking at my beloved, holding his hand, slowing myself down, just being in the moment, knowing that everything we did together was weaving something. And the love that we felt, and the love that we held, and the love that we put into the ground as we walked around town, and we sat at a cafe and enjoyed a cacao, and whatever it was that we did together, it didn't have to be a big agenda. It was being present in the moment. And we were each holding balanced sacred feminine and masculine, not requiring each other to be that. Okay. So this is one of the temples we went to last time. That's the Temple of the Jaguar, Ishel, and Kukulkan behind me. And of course, we're going to spend one night here in Delphi and do some amazing activations and soul retrievals and past life awakenings at these places in Greece. And this is the class. So let's take a look now. What we're looking at primarily this year, this week right now, is the energies that are coming. So it's the 15th. And we still have a week until Venus and Mars are going to come together. And what we feel all these energies beforehand. So it's perfect because we've had Love Day, and that may have brought up pain. Maybe you're like my sister who just lost her husband of 50 years, and a few days later, she's in Valentine's Day. That brings up a particular kind of pain, a particular kind of focus or loss, and it's a doorway. I in no way belittle deep grief in any way, and regret. So that's why I said don't regret. Don't leave yourself open to regrets. It is one of the worst energies to feel. Do it now. There's a way. That's just the bottom line. Everything's here. I recently heard this beautiful shaman that I do follow some of his work, especially for the food. And he said, you can have, well, I'm not sure if it was him, somebody that he quoted said, you can either have what you want, or you can have a long list of the reasons why you can't have what you want. And so I'm telling you that you can choose, you can continue to live in imbalance where you're not respecting your sacred feminine. Where is your sacred feminine not respected? Where is it hidden? Where has it been hiding? Where has it not spoken up? Where has it not? What does it mean, your sacred feminine? Well, it could be your ability to receive, could be your ability to give. It could be your ability to trust yourself or to feel worthy of receiving or having pleasure. I was always taught that I was never good enough. Nothing I did was ever going to be good enough. So I was on a constant hamster wheel of always trying to achieve, thinking if I was relaxing, looked like I was relaxing, but I was thinking. There wasn't, other than my deep spiritual experiences in my day-to-day life, outside of that, I wasn't living in the flow of peace. I was living in the get it done and what do they want and what do they think and did I do this and oh, that's too bad, and carrying the burden of this past failure, worrying about that not happening again. So it's so clear to me now that if you don't clear your mind, if you don't focus and get yourself centered, you are going to drag around all this shit, keep creating it around you, keep feeling stuck, keep feeling sad and like you don't deserve, and keep wallowing in the victim. And so when you are feeling like a victim, it doesn't help when somebody says stop feeling like a victim. I know. And yet I have to tell you that you have to choose to start balancing those energies. You have to choose to start saying, I'm going to pull my head up out of this pattern some way, somehow. I don't know if you've seen pictures of me or if you've known me for many years, but I've been losing weight on and off, down and up, and 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 down and up for years. And I honestly didn't know if I was ever going to get back to my high school athlete weight. And it seemed like it seemed just like something that was so far away that it was never going to happen. And it was a huge guilt that I carried. It wasn't just the lack of ability or health or love of myself or feeling good about what I look like or constantly being embarrassed or constantly trying to feel good about yourself despite what you look like and force yourself to speak up and force yourself to get on stage and then have all the judgment come back at you that you're feeling towards yourself from everybody else who's perfectly happy to judge you if you're fat or not perfect in any way, right? And so on. But I'm creating that reality. Nobody else created that reality. And now that I've found a way to free myself from that, I'm watching my body do things on its own, from its own codes, take the energies that are coming in and be able to build a completely new body. And I don't actually know why or how. But I am so grateful that I went through each one of those pains and stood up again. So your sacred mask is sacred masculine, that's supposed to say, will come to a really beautiful balance on February 23rd. You might want to mark that date so that you do something special, or you just know when you go into that day that you're looking for that. Because guess what? People can run through February 23rd and not feel it. They cannot be touched by any of these cosmic energies consciously. And then they can wonder, why are they hitting their heads together? Well, why didn't this work? Or why did it work? Wow, I don't know why. I was so stressed out, but everything flowed. But I was so stressed out, I couldn't enjoy the flow because I didn't know the flow was coming and I didn't trust the flow and I didn't go into the flow. So the sacred feminine has to receive. And part of you has to receive is your intuitive network, is your ability to receive guidance, your ability to trust your inner self, your ability to set boundaries so that you hear this and this and this in here, not that and that and that and that and that and that and that. So we're already feeling it. Now, the other thing is Aquarius. We talk a lot about Aquarius. Look it up. It's easy to understand Aquarius energies. The biggest thing for Aquarius to me is it's mind, it's mental, it's that electrical thing, it's that increasing. We're really seeing it in the AI expansion right now. But all that means is that we're expanding our ability, our minds consciously into higher realms. It means we're also being given an opportunity to connect to higher conscious realms, but our body and our brain need to be upgraded for that. We need to have the chakra systems that can flow and receive it. And when we're carrying pain, when we're out of balance, masculine and feminine, the feminine is laying down and the masculine's laying on top. Now we've kind of risen a little bit, and I'm not trying to be rude in any way. I'm saying energetically, this has sat on top of that. It's like an elephant sitting on a mouse, right? And it's not one fault or the other. We're not going, yeah, men are evil. Please stop that. Please stop that. Please stop that. Please don't go visit beautiful places on the earth and then say, yeah, she's mad. She's angry. Men are evil. This is not helping. Okay, get the fuck out of those lower states of consciousness, please. They're not helping anybody. Playing in the belief system that they're evil and you're good is just stupid because it's not true. And I'm not telling you you're bad. You have to let go of judging everyone. You have to accept. When you go get the scale of consciousness in my shop and look at it, you have to go to acceptance. Acceptance is where you take your power back. This balancing is about taking your power back. You can't take your power back when you constantly blame someone else for something. That's giving your power away over and over and over, giving your power away to that pattern or that fear or that dark night of the soul. Hey, you're going to go through them. But you don't have to surrender your fear to them. You don't have to spend the whole night in that thinking about all the things that you did and you didn't do right and why don't you and why can't you. You could spend the whole time in the dark night of the soul sitting with the grandmother, sitting in her lap, sitting in Gaia, calling on any of the many number of sacred feminine guides or masculine guides or herbs or dragons or fairies or jaguars or animal spirit guides. Pick one. Come to the sacred circle. It's only $26 a month. Okay. Get some camaraderie, learn to connect to your guides and be in your own spiritual growth as somebody who's digging from the inside out while your soul is calling from the outside in. You're going to find the path. It is already there. So Aquarius will give you the opportunity to go way out of yourself and give away your power for the greater good of everything, and way over here into independence where you're like, screw everybody. And your thing is to come into balance in all aspects, in all signs. So creativity is big. Harmony is big. Imbalances, right? Have to come into harmony. Harmony is a beautiful word. It's a beautiful frequency. Harmonize is a power program that I've created, and it's like a medicine, it's like a frequency medicine of energies that come initially from the full color spectrum. That's way beyond the rainbow. Okay, this is working with masters who were the original elementals, who are the building blocks of reality. So if you want to manifest, you got to work with these things. You have to come into harmony with them. You have to accept, I did some things right, I did some things wrong, this happened, that happened. Okay, whatever it is, what it meant is where you find your balance. It didn't mean that you're evil. It didn't mean you're bad. It didn't mean that you're never going to be lovable again. Even if everyone in your reality told you that, even if your whole family, friends, spouse, ex-spouse, children, whatever, are currently telling you that, stop listening to them. I don't care how much you love them. They are not you. They are not in your soul. They are not inside. They do not know what the right thing is for you. And most likely they're standing in your way because you have a sacred contract with them that says, stand in my way. Okay. So we have other things happening. This is also an awakening of soulmate contracts. And that's a really interesting thing because maybe you have soulmate contracts you haven't completed. So the soul, Sacred Soul Powers Past Life Gift course that or experience, I guess it's your own experience that we're going to be doing now, is another thing. Maybe you're looking for a new love or lover, or a new creative passion, or a new expression for your work because you don't do the work you did anymore and you don't want to, and you know you're being called to something new. What is a soulmate relationship that you aren't able to receive or see right now because you're out of balance? And when you can't see it, you can't receive it, you feel denied. And then you go into those lower states. And then your sacral, which is all around your Janissa crystal, it's all around your 8 original cells that have your codes, cannot be freed into the world to flow with the creative energies that are available. So you have to complete soulmate contracts in order to step into new soulmate contracts. And the point is in finding your soulmate so that you can forget all your problems. It's completing all the soulmate contracts that may still be dragging around with you, telling you something that's not true, not supportive, and not empowering. Take a look at that. Okay. Now, that's this life, other lives, and whatever. You might have had 5 loves this life, a love when you were 10, and a love when you were in high school, and a love in college, and then 2 marriages, and I don't know what, right? It doesn't matter. You let go of the story. I should have stayed married and that person did this to me and whatever. Could you rise up out of the story? Could you be the writer and the creator, not just the victim, the actor, the hero, the heroine? Yes, you can do it. Okay. Now, what we do now next is that we take the divine feminine. So Venus is the divine sacred feminine energy. This is the goddess of love. This is the goddess of here's my one from Greece. Isn't she beautiful? Where are you, my darling? This is one that's been with me a very, very long time. These are just beautiful symbols. They embody this divine love. And then these have been to some sacred places too. And this is love, not the sexual beauty love. Oh, look, she's perfect and she has no flaws on her skin and no saggy butt and whatever like that. Again, I don't care. I don't care what your body looks like. I don't care what my body looks like. I'm fascinated with my body. I'm more in love with my body than when I was, 16 and the athlete of the year in all Europe in basketball. I think my body is amazing. And I'm so aware at this moment that the most important thing for me to do is to honor and respect this body and give it a balance of sacred masculine and sacred feminine in all ways, whether it's food, whether it's thought, whether it's meditation, whether it's kind of relationships, whether it's beauty around me, whether it's walking on the beach this morning, connecting to the ground, doing my, whatever it is. I want this container to get to the peak of its possibility right now at this moment, because that's why I'm here. And then I want to reach the highest level of my personal spiritual abilities. And I want to open a new reality, or I am opening a new reality. And I want to become more and more consciously a creator within it. In order to do that, we have to be balanced. It doesn't mean that you're balanced in every moment. If you're super focused and downloading a book, you're going to be really, really out of balance because the download's coming. And then later, there will be no more Shakti. There will be no more download of the intuitive feminine. You'll be like resting. And then one day you'll get up and the sacred masculine will enter you, and you'll suddenly get into a logical mood, and you'll start organizing and editing your book and putting in new ways and seeing new ways to deliver it, and so on and so forth. So you go in and out of balance, but you must bring balance in here. So your sacred feminine is your intuition. It's your ability to heal, to see past the physical. The sacred feminine loves. It's unconditional love. It understands life and death. It doesn't judge what you've done. It accepts everything, accepting, developing everything in love. Yin energy is dark energy. It's the not dark evil. It's the energy of womb, nurturing seeds and new realities. Venus comes in. We want more balance, more receiving, more of what will nurture you to prosper. So in all of my teachings and all of what we've been doing this year, it is about bringing balance into the prosperity realm, the moment. The more you can let go, and I'm not talking that this is easy, and I'm coming from a lifetime of people pleasing and workaholism and all kinds of stuff. And I don't live there, and I haven't lived there in degrees. And this last week with the new year, the new moon, and then my brother-in-law dying, which I knew he was going to at some point, but it wasn't like I went into that night saying he's dying and I'm going to go help him to cross the veil. It didn't work that way. I felt I haven't been sleeping, and moon and all these powerful energies, and I just go with the flow. I mean, if spirit wants to talk to me, wants me to travel between the worlds, wants me to be up all night long downloading information, that's what I do. So I'm doing this, and I get called to do almost 5-7 hours of deep shamanic soul retrieval, going between the worlds into the tree, out into the realms. And I'm doing all this. And then I found out that he died. So this is a transitional time where you don't know what you're doing and who it will help, who it will affect. You may heal something and it ripples through your family, but you're not only alone. We are one. It goes into the Akasha. The Akasha is available to everyone. So the more you feed the pain in or the imbalance in, the more you will perpetuate that. And the more that's what you're giving us and everyone else. The more you go, I'm coming into balance. I'm willing to receive. I know that what I need to nurture me and to prosper is here. And instead of feeling, it's so funny how I spoke these, and it says sacred masculine, the sacred masculine and feminine are coming together like cosmic lovers. That means challenges that create tension, that create attraction, that maybe create that ability to say what and break your pattern. And then there could be great love, great surrender, great receiving, great ecstasy. And then how do you take that out of the sexual realm? Play with it in the sexual realm too, but take it out of that into the creative realm, because you are a creator and you're meant to be a creator. And this year is about the creating. So the old patterns of fear, of loving and trusting, of being willing to claim your boundaries, that's energy right now. You have to reclaim your power, and you have to look for boundaries that make sense to you. Not that you're keeping out love and you're not listening. I got epic ear infections the last few days from all of this travel. And of course, that means several things for me, because it's a common pattern that I have. But of course, it means on some level, there's something I don't want to hear, and it's not an option anymore. I have to look at it. I have to face it. So that's what's happening for all of us. You don't have to get your ear infection. Mars is the representative of the masculine energy. And of course, we know Mars can be aggressive. Most people relate to it as warlike. Of course, that's the only masculine quality most people relate to, which is ridiculous. So change how you relate to that idea. If you're coming together as lovers, if you're coming together as partners, if you're coming together as independent people or energies that come together and are equal, there is Athena, there is Zeus, they are eye to eye. They do not require each other to be whole, and they come together with full respect. That's one of the energies we activate in Greece, and that's what I'm inviting you to see. Balanced masculine and feminine will then infuse into your body, start to niggle away those places where you don't see yourself this way, where you might be holding on to old relationships, paradigms in terms of money, receiving wealth, value, worthiness in any way, and it can be preventing health as well. So the old patterns, you must accept them, because you don't go moving towards what you want and not trip over old patterns. That's part of the purpose of it. It doesn't mean you've done it wrong. Get out of that stupid mindset too and say, oh, grow up for God's sakes, and look at it as an opportunity. This is next. This is next. Take some time off, rest, receive, nourish, then step into the flow again. Move to the next thing. Take it, reclaim your power, and show that you can take these two energies and move them from being competitive and aggressive and angry into being the builder, the safe, protected, loved, adored. This is where the seeds are nurtured, is inside the sacred masculine. Says, I can create a container for you. I can create this. Well, the more you take care of your body or your environment or your relationships or the energy that you are bombarded with all day long, or what you're giving your energy to, now you are deciding what is nourishing you, what is bringing balance to you, and what is not. If it is not bringing balance to you, disconnect now, lovingly. Okay, so this is a rebirth time. And one of the reasons the dragon year is awakening in Kundalini is because we've not been able to access this within our own bodies, our sexualities, or our relationships, our mind. For a very long time, we were told women were bad and evil and sin, and this was that, and you're separated from this, and you can't create, and we don't want you to know that you're a creator, into now, bam, you're a creator. What the hell's wrong with you? Why aren't you creating? So the reunion of Venus and Mars is going to give you lessons for growth that allows you to become a destiny mover within a partnership. So first partnership is with yourself. Please come back into unity with your own mind, with your own powers, with your own truth, with your own heart, with your own body, with your own intuitive network, and with the fact that you have within you these balanced energies. Now you have to go clear your light body so that as your Kundalini rises, it can flow into each of the chakras. It can come into your belly where you're blocking, and move the congestion out of the way, bring the flow in. You can receive more, and then you will be able to move. You will see the answers. You don't have to go figure it out. Please don't do anymore. Wow, I'm getting deeper and deeper lessons into that, completely letting go this week, and then watching things rise and manifest, where it's like, I have to focus, I have to think, this is something I got to do, and it's hanging over my head, and I got to get it done, and people are waiting. And that idea of the thing being that the way I related to it, instead over here, Aphrodite and Venus and the grandmothers and Gaia and Delphine and all, and Abundancia, my beautiful abundance goddess here, and all of these, are all calling me, don't do, stop doing, and become, be. We're here, we're doing. How can you receive if you're doing? And then, without effort, putting it aside, being willing to say, okay, fine, I'll come back and I'll think about that and work hard on that later. And I will just be receiving. If you can just do that, if you can just be willing to take that one step into balance, and then put your big thing that you can't get out of your head or can't get out of your heart or can't stop creating with, spinning means you're creating it. Okay, boom, I'll come back to it. I'm not giving it up. I still think I got to work hard at that. I'll put it right there. And then you step into the peaceful, prosperous, powerful present moment with the divine guides, and you receive and you're nourished. All of a sudden, without any effort or thinking, everything I thought I was going to have to effort just rose up. There it was. Literally, this is what happens because it's already here. Okay, so maybe not partnership with another lover. However, all relationships require love, require balance, require all relationships and all creations are a relationship. So if you're creating a business, if you're creating a vacation, if you're creating a job, if you're creating a home, if you're creating a relationship, it is a relationship. All prosperity, all money, all jobs, all happiness require balance of these two energies to manifest. So we've already seen that. And the rebirth we talked about, and we talked about the sacred energies, and I think we're done. So the other thing to remember this tomorrow is Venus is going to enter Aquarius, and it's going to be conjunct Pluto, which is our god of death and rebirth. So all the cycles, everything we're talking about, what perfect balance, death, rebirth, composting, coming back to life, feeding yourself from your old pain. This is what nature does. This is what we don't do. We hang on to our pain, we bury it, we carry it around, we use it to judge ourselves, we use it to burden ourselves, and it's time for that energy of acceptance to come in and free us, for our chakras and all the parts of our light body to flow with the divine energy. The powerful combination of these Aquarius and Pluto and Venus on top of the other aspects that are happening now. We have Chiron on the 11th, all right, which is our wounded healer, and the North Node, which is our destiny. So we're having healing of our destiny. And that means you have to look at the deep wounds. You got to walk into them. Perfect time to balance that sacred masculine and feminine, to walk into the caves of your wounds and your fears, to allow that. Now remember, 0 degrees on the zodiac, the 0 and the 29 are the two critical degrees. These are really powerful sacred degrees. So we have Venus, the divine love, sacred feminine, coming into Aquarius, that independent, expanded, higher mind, also deeply spiritually independent energy. And then we are conjunct Pluto, which is the looking into the death, what needs to die. So 0 is the beginning degree, 29 is the death degree. That means that Pluto is saying, what needs to die has died. Now we're in the new beginnings. So an incredibly powerful energy. Please accept it. Let all the energies flow through you. Allow your transpersonal, the chakras that are above the crown, like your soul star and your stellar gateway and your galactic goddess and all of those, okay? And come into an acceptance place where you can receive wherever it needs to come in and take back control of who you are. Now, control is not a masculine thing. It's a choice. It's saying, I choose. Okay. And I choose based on the flow of the moment and my intuitive network and the balance of the masculine and feminine within me. And I may not know what that is, and I may be learning what it is, but I'm becoming it. And I'm becoming what my inner self says, not what others want. And I do not need to sacrifice myself for love. So finally, Pisces begins on the 18th, and that means we're moving into that soft, intuitive energy. It's the last sign of the zodiac, meaning we're going to start a new year. Energetically, we have again another layer of the death rebirth energy. And this is the final chapter before we start again, a new kind of birthing. So we've had the new year start, and then the dragon year start. And now, we have these other things. So again, all what we talked about before, closures and endings, completions, and now Pluto is saying 0 degrees. Start to step onto the platform. Start to get ready for that soul seed to sprout. It's the spring. And then remember that Pisces is a very intuitive and soft sign. So this is a great opportunity for yourself to come in, sun, self, come into alignment with those soft, feminine, intuitive guides and guidance and intuitive skills and gifts and those wisdom in your other soul lives. However, it's also very, very important for you to let go of needing to be a victim. So the Piscean age is the age of the victim. It's the age of the external suppressing your ability to go directly to source. And we're awakening into Aquarius, which is fiercely independent, as well as caring about the other. And that's a paradigm that we're going to learn. We're going to have a long, long time together to learn how to walk in balance in that energy. Just take these energies that we're sharing, take these energies that we have, and allow yourself to be present. Oh, I'm sorry about this. I didn't know that was still on. Be present to what they mean for you. They mean something different for each and every one of us. So I hope that I will see you in the Sacred Soul Powers. I hope I get to do one of these sessions with you. We're going to send some more information out now because the whole format of the class changed. It was that what I was just telling you was there was something that was I kept preventing me from fully embracing that course, that idea. And I know how important it is. And it was driving me completely nuts. So the other thing is that Saturday, I'm going to do a live stream. So please come. I was meant to do it a few days ago, and my brother-in-law passed, and I have not been in deep grief or regret. I've been working with that energy, even though I have personally haven't seen him in over 18 years. And now, however, it was an extraordinary, powerful portal experience that I've had over the last 4 or 5 days that I thought was going to culminate on the Temple of Venus yesterday, and instead just culminated in some very deep love energies. And this morning on the beach, I had some very profound and beautiful downloads. Lots of weeds, lots of wind, lots of seaweed, lots of it wasn't a peaceful energy. Okay, it was this, but it's the winds of change. And so if you want to come and have a past life reading, if you want some more information on that whole idea of why past lives as that concept, other parts of your soul, hold your powers, hold your wounds, hold answers, hold guidance, and you're not alone. And it's time to free those parts of you to come back together, to bring this energies we just talked about. What a perfect time to do this class. What a perfect time to do this. It's not really a class, but this experience for yourself. Okay, come into union first. You come in, we give you a few things to do, then you get a session with me so you can schedule that. I don't know if we have any more times this week, next week if you want. Then from there, you're going to go into doing some work with that, and then we're going to go into our first soul retrieval on February 29th, I think. So check that out. Also, I am just starting to fill the first mastermind that I have offered in, I don't know how long, over 8 years. It could be 9, 10 years. And it's a big deal to me because it's a huge commitment. I have to know that this is the right use of my time and my resources. I have to understand the not the trade of value, but what is it doing to further my personal path. I don't teach anything. I don't work with anyone. I don't offer any classes. I don't do any retreats for money. Of course, I charge. Let's be real. I have to pay my life and so on. However, I'm not doing it for the money. I am doing it for my path. And my path, if it happens to intersect with your path, then we are both going to have an intersect moment of power and beauty and joy and love. And that's why I love coming together with you. So hopefully I will see you then. And if you were interested in the mastermind, it is not available to the public right now. I'm simply very softly opening to it and have had several conversations. I have several of my current clients that want to join. And so now it's blossoming into something else. All right, let me just check on everybody. Hi Sylvia. Hi Court. Thank you. I lost your mom when I was 12. Wow. You have a very different experience then, don't you? And what makes you unique is your ability to understand what that means. Like, how did your mother wound or your mother relationship or that, how was it part of your soul's growth, right? And you look at your story, it's very profound. So I'm adopted, and my daughter that I had died, and then I adopted my twins. And so when I look at that, just that little aspect of my story, my life story, it's filled with information. Why is my design that way? It's not because I'm a victim. Oh, poor you, this happened to you. And everybody has said that to us, and you don't want to own it. You want to reject that and say, thank you. I understand you're being kind. Just say that to yourself if you need to. Thank you. And then move into your own power state, because you have a unique power court. You have a unique perspective, and you have wisdom, you have gems, you have strengths that you've gained from that experience. It's super powerful. Hi, Lisa. Oh, thank you. Yes, I had to do another Jaguar. I have several Jaguar shirts that, wow, I found when I unpacked last year to go to Greece. And then I've worn them. But today I was like, oh, I had something else on. And Jaguars, no. So Jaguar is my medicine guide. And she is, we do an incredible Jaguar ceremony with my Mayan and Aztec friends. during the March retreat. It's the only place I get to do that. They don't have those kind of things in Greece or England. And the jaguar being my spirit guide, but also being a spirit guide for us. And she's the one that gives us the vision and the love to be not be seen, but to see in the dark, our own dark and others, and to travel past death to those other worlds. So I was working with her very deeply on Sunday, all Sunday night, as my brother-in-law and many other people passed. So I love when you drop F-bombs. It's a good wake up because you hardly do that, and my pirate self appreciates it. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, Lisa. I know I don't do a lot of it, but I also am all about being real. And you'll notice that I don't do a lot of posturing. I don't do a lot of pretending, and I don't do a lot of covering up failures or challenges, because it's important that you know everybody's on their path. There is literally, I have worked with millionaires, multimillionaires, famous, like movie star type people, famous people in the spiritual world. I know most of the people in the movie The Secret, done personal private sessions with them. I've been up and down the world. I don't look important anymore. I'm not the one featured on everything the way I used to be. And I am coming back out from Chris's seizure and being seen more. And that's going to happen this year. So if you think that I have something wonderful to teach and there's a community or a summit that and you tell them to call me, or tell them, hey, you might like this lady, that would be wonderful, if you feel called. And the idea that we have to sometimes, sometimes it's rude, sometimes it's aggressive, and sometimes it's just the truth, and I'm saying it to myself. I'm just freaking done with this shit. And you can do that too. You just don't stay in it, but you acknowledge it, you accept it. I'm so upset, I'm so upset, I'm so upset. Move the energy, get the life force going, get the kundalini going. So, okay, we'll do that. All right, so we're going to close now, and I am going to be doing some live streams. I just don't know when, about the retreats, because so much new information, so much new healing is coming. So we're going to go get some information from the dolphins, from some of the sacred spirit guides, and some of the dragon energies. We're going to be doing some deeper things with the energies that are coming with the healer, with Chiron the healer, because Chiron was Asclepios' teacher, the centaur, the healer, and it's all wound up in that. So it's very powerful that that's coming. However, is it really mine? Okay, that's mine. I have a lot of our oracle decks here. I love oracle decks. I didn't use them for years. Oh my gosh, I use them and use them and use them and use them, and they were big teachers for me, and many years, many years, and all through my divorce years and that. And then I stopped using them, and I listened to my inner guidance, and then I found some, unpacked them, and I've been getting some new ones now, and we've got some dragon ones. And you just remember, they're just a tool. They're a form of communication. So when you say, I would like some guidance on whether I should take this job, or something, excuse me, and you want to have open a window for your sacred feminine, for your spiritual self, for your higher self, for that future self that is prospering greatly in whatever aspect, you give it a channel to speak to you, rather than sit and go, what's the message? What's the message? You give it a channel through choosing the cards. So my deck here is the one that's called us. So beautiful. Now these are that ones. Okay. So I have 17 cards so far in my deck, and we've just created a mermaid and some dolphins and Ishel, and my moon goddess, my Mayan moon goddess, but a series of maiden cards, because the maiden energy is so powerful. And when you come to the retreats here, and if you want to do a private retreat, let me know, because all the things that I do on these retreats, I'm going to be pulling them together for an aspect if somebody wants to come as a single person or a couple or a small group of their own, and we design it to match what you need. So Ishel, we have a healer that comes with a Mayan healer who comes and does it's not just cuencos, okay? It's crystal bowls, but it's all kinds of instruments. And his daughter is 8 now. When we started working with her, she was 7, magical age, incredible healer. I mean, this girl is ageless, timeless, amazing. And the maiden energy, as soon as she entered our space the first time that I met them, I was overwhelmed by the maiden energy. Now I have some more, not maiden energy, but youth energy coming to the retreat along with her, that's going to be bringing in this new seed, this new divine energy, these young beings that are coming in. It's just phenomenal. So the maidens are coming in. We have 2 or 3 maiden cards that came through. And so we're in creation mode again. And I'm going to be sharing more of this. I'm going to be creating a book with this. We're going to be working with these different guides. So we give great thanks for this beautiful sacred space and coming together to understand these energies that are moving and shifting and transmuting, helping us to release and to create the new reality that we are here to create. Aligned with each of our highest goods, we ask for this guidance from the sacred feminine, wisdom, guides, and the maidens and the grandmothers, from the dragon realms and Gaia to the fairies. We ask that the divine guidance for this moment in this week come through at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Grandmothers and more grandmothers and more grandmothers. Oh, here, I have a bigger one. So this is the one that's come for us. And I usually have it on there, but these are the grandmothers that I met at the Temple of Venus. So I wasn't able to get on the temple with them the other day, but they're here. And they call themselves the Prosperity Grandmothers. They're dream weavers. They're timeless. They're watchers. They travel through time and space on the Temple of Venus as a portal through different countries, different times, different planets. They have been our primary guides through the Prosperity Magic class, which I highly recommend that you get. And we are continuing to grow that download. Like, what are they having us do step by step? So this is your guidance for this week, is to tune into the ancient wisdom of the grandmother, the full color spectrum. We've got that before, to help you to balance what we were talking about with timeless magic, grandmother wisdom, eternal prosperity, source. You are here to manifest in flow. All right, everybody. Hi, Sarah. Oh, no, we're not. We're just pulling the one for everyone. Hi, Josie. Hi, Lucille. Hello. Josie said, I don't know what I am. I am. Okay, everybody. Mwah. Ciao. I will see you on Saturday, I hope, or beforehand if you want to talk with me privately about the mastermind or the class or anything else that you are interested in manifesting, and for sure about the retreats. Take care. Bye.